Hello, it's Michelle Mailhot, and I am an adjunct professor in the music department. And I want to tell you a little bit about these last years working with this wonderful grant that we received to become faculty mentors. That was my role. I was a faculty mentor through the music department mostly. So most of my tales will be regarding our music students here at Valencia College. I feel that one of the greatest impacts on student success that I was able to have through being a mentor was transferring our graduates to four-year colleges. I'm also on faculty at Rollins College, and so a lot of students have made it over to there from us that have graduated. There's also a UNF contingency that I have. A trombone major that graduated last year, Marcos Gonzalez, became a jazz major up at UNF last year, and he was, I mean, one of my top kids. Loved him, superstar student, and now he is my liaison for anybody that is interested in transferring up to UNF in the fall, including Joel Klein is going to be going up there in the fall of 2020 because of our connection with Marcos. And at USF in Tampa, we had a graduate from a couple years ago. His name's Andrew Kennedy. He just graduated with his bachelor's degree, but last year he was my liaison for a couple of students, including the saxophone player named Parker Marchant, who was able to have two amazing days up in Tampa with Andrew. So these students that I mentored in the last 3, 4, 5 years are now becoming liaisons at these four-year colleges, which is just amazing. In what ways has the grant impacted how we support students? Well, personally, the money that I was able to receive as being a mentor opened up a lot of time for me to devote to being a mentor with texts and calls and emails, both to students and to professionals in the field, so professional music makers, professional musicians, and or lots of other faculty around the state and around the country as well. I could devote hours outside of the school to take field trips. I was able to go with Valencia College the last couple of years going to Symposium, which is a big music convention for students of two-year colleges. I did a lot of concert meetups with students where I would tell them where I was going to be and if they wanted to meet me. And there's a lot of jam sessions around town where students can sing or play their instruments in a jazz with a professional jazz group. And I did a lot of that with the students as well on weekends and stuff. So what ways has the grant influenced my work at the college? Well, I know a lot more people. I've made a lot more connections in faculty development. The office is over in the library over on East Campus. Wendy has become an amazing resource for me. Jen, Chris Timer was just so instrumental in my career as a mentor as well. My favorite memory working on the grant was that first summer when the sky was the limit, and we just created all kinds of ideas, and we learned so much about being a mentor. We researched other colleges, and it was very inspirational. So speaking of inspirational, I want to show you some photographs of students that I have mentored throughout the years. This is Morgan in the middle, and he went to Rollins College. Carlos with the braces on the left, he went down to Miami to get his degree, and then we have Ryan with the baseball hat who's finishing up his jazz degree at UCF. That was a recording project we did with Raul. You can see him in the back. That's the band room at Valencia we did a few years ago. This is a Central Florida Jazz Society scholarship concert, and piano, the two saxophone players are all Valencia graduates. There's Sebastian. He was the student who went to University of North Texas. There's Joel Klein playing saxophone here. He's going to UNF in the fall. We have Stephen Grant with, let's see, we already just saw Joel, and then to the right of him is Stephen Grant, whose dad is amazing too, by the way, but Stephen's at UCF finishing up his jazz degree. This is all these pictures were from the Blue Bamboo. There's Marcos on trombone who goes to UNF, and then there's Hannah Stokes who goes to Rollins now. So how many we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these students that you see on this stage are all Valencia graduates who all won in the Central Florida Jazz Society scholarship competition. And so this was their sort of winner's concert that they did at the Blue Bamboo last winter. Here's a bus picture of us at Symposium, which was in Lakeland this past year, a bunch of singers that went to Symposium. There's Hannah again singing. Here's all Valencia students at the Winter Symposium this past January. And as I was talking about, the mentor money allowed me to go take this trip for a few days because I wasn't specifically paid to go to this, but I had mentor money, so it made sense to me. There's Alan Gerber and a bunch of our music students, again at Symposium. This is my summer jazz class, that's our PAC right there. And so these are all Valencia students. There's my son in the tie in the front. There I am. And I don't know, I mean, I know that it's a class that I taught, but I just feel like I was a mentor to everybody all the time because I felt like that was one of my hats that I wore at Valencia. So I just consistently dug deeper into these students' education all the time. Okay, so guitar here, Jake, he's in South Florida at a college, I can't remember where it is, but he transferred successfully. Bryce on bass with the shorts, he's at Rollins. That's a great story of how I got him there. And that's Hunter Allison on drums. Singers from last summer. What's interesting about this picture is let's see, the second, so that we have the second one in from the left. She transferred over to Tampa, but in medical sciences. I think she's a biomed major. Oops, wrong way. Summer concert again. Music major down in South Florida now. This is an example of the jam sessions that I would take these students to and meet up with them. And this is at Pilar's in Winter Garden. Justin on trombone, he's one of ours. All three of those are all ours at one point or another. And I don't know about you, but once a student is my student, it's just they're my student forever. Symposium last year, so 2019 symposium. You can see Aaron in the back on viola, and I helped him get into Rollins. I mean, when I say I help them, you have to remember that these students are all excellent musicians and excellent students, and they get themselves in. But sometimes that extra phone call. This is a picture of Symposium from 2 years ago. Okay, so let's see if I can show you. Gary on the left is now at Rollins. Go down 2. Aaron's now at Rollins. Then we have Joel going to UNF. Go over. We have Stephen Grant going to UCF. Marcos going to UNF. Hannah going to Rollins. This is Simon Klotchko, a guitar major that we had here a few years ago, and I had a gig at a wine bar, and he's an excellent guitarist, and so I paid him to join me, be my accompanist that night. I think he's a super, super great guitar player. And here is the bulletin board that I do every year, congratulating our musicians moving on to complete their bachelor's degree. So this was not this year, but last year. And you can just kind of take a look at that. Matt Gitkin down here, forgot about him, University of Central Florida. A lot of UCF. Okay, up here, Miranda, got a Stetson College girl. There's several Stetson College people, actually. And I don't know, I could probably talk forever, but I just wanted to share with you guys what a rewarding experience being a mentor has been for all these, for me especially. And gosh, thank you guys so much.